Great. Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russell here from Porky's Corner, the voice of hardcore boxing. But you already know that, don't you? Because that's why you're watching. Today we're joined by Ryan Rollinson. Is it? Rollinson from South Yorkshire, Rotherham kid, former middleweight. Aren't you, Ryan?
I am, yeah. Boxed at 11.6.
How did you get into boxing, Ryan?
I started when I was a kid at a place called Miners down Parkgate, an old miners welfare club.
Yeah.
Started there till I was about 13. Then I packed in and picked it back up again when I was in my late teens. Started doing a few unlicensed bouts, and then I turned pro. So I didn't have a great deal of experience when I turned professional, to be fair.
That car you're sat in, you're not bought off Russell, have you?
Try again.
You've not bought that car off Acco, have you?
Oh no. Yeah, this one runs.
I'm going to say, I'm looking at it, looks like a 4-wheel drive, is it?
It is, I'm sat in my father's with it. When at work at minute, like just laying some bricks.
I was just thinking, with you being from over there, you must have copped for one that you don't want. But so basically, you started off down at Parkgate.
Yeah,
that's an amateur.
I think it was just it was not a bloke called Albert, an old man called Albert, who was an amateur. He said. I didn't fight amateur out. It was just like a youth club type training for people to go down, for kids to get off at streets and that. So you did boxing first, and then it was youth club after.
So basically, they just wanted you off streets because you weren't going around tipping cars upside down and stuff.
Nicking badges off at front, sticking them on your bedroom wall.
I used to steal them gear badges, when I was about 12, 13 year old off wings on Ford Capris and Ford Cortina.
Yeah.
You get two of them, glue them together, drill through, make a keyring out of them.
That's it, yeah.
Back in the day.
If you're posh on my estate, you nicked a Mercedes one and you put it on a chain.
Off at front tip bonnet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my second one at the moment. People keep pulling it. They come bang it, but they damage, it runs off for like a ball, doesn't it, underneath bonnet?
Yeah.
They damage bonnet, don't they, pulling them off?
Yeah. You have to sort end off then to put it on
your chain. How many trainers did you have? Who did you fight? Where did you fight? What did you get? What did you get out of boxing?
I started unlicensed boxing with a bloke called Mick Pacey down Swinton. Yeah. I boxed all over Manchester, Birmingham, Leicester, all that country. I won a few titles doing that.
Yeah.
Then I went to prison for a little bit, and sat there and you think, what can I do with my life? And I come out and I was working on doors, and I seen a poster up.
Where were you working at?
I was working at Beach in Rotherham.
Oh yeah.
And I seen a poster and I said, somebody who's promoting. They went, it's a lad called Dave Coldwell. He comes in here. So I just seen him one night and I says, I'm interested in giving it a try, like. And he says, I'll come down to the gym. So when I first turned pro, it was with Dave Coldwell. But that's when he had gym. He had gym up at Ecclesfield, I think it was. Great big unit. It was fucking freezing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went with him. Then I left Dave and went with Glen Rhodes.
I bet that went down well.
Well, there's a story behind it all, like, but I'll tell you what, well, it just weren't for me with Dave Coldwell. I don't think I was getting much right, and he had other people in gym like Kel Brook and Ryan Rhodes at time, and I was down pecking order. I'd walk in and my name would be there about 20 times on a list, fighting. I was like, what's going on here? Every week my name would have for fighting. So I used to scrub a few of them out and he didn't like it.
What were you doing? Putting you up for fights and taking his cut basically off you and that?
Yeah.
You see, I have a problem with managers and trainers taking money off kids who are not getting paid big money. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes after they've took the cut, the kid's left with a few £100, isn't he, and things like that.
Well, I mean, when my first pro fight, I think I got £650 minus what Coldwell took. So by the time I'd bought all my supplements for training and all that, I went out of pocket.
So basically, he took his cut off £650, or you ended up with £650.
No, he took his cut off £650.
So we were paying you £650 and taking his manager trainers.
Yeah.
Off that, but you were getting £650. So we've no proof for this, but nobody fights for £650, do they? Come on.
Well, that's what my first fight was at Winter Gardens in Cleethorpes.
Cleethorpes,
yeah. I won £650 minus my manager and trainer's fees, which I think were about 25%.
Oh God! And he took it.
Yeah, and I was using CMP supplements at times. So
Kerry K's.
So about the time I bought all my supplements and that, I was minus about £50 for my fight.
And he was telling you had to take it and all that kind of carry on. Yeah, I can imagine. We know what we're going on, don't we, Dave? Come see me. You little whatever. Point I want to make is I don't agree with managers taking cuts off fighters. I don't agree with it. I know managers that don't take anything until they start earning £4,000 plus. Anything over £4,000, they don't take a penny. So I find that upsetting, to be honest, for you, because you must have been demoralised going home. Did you win that fight as well?
Yeah, I won it. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not so bad then, is it? If you're going home after a win.
I split my head up and I got a right cut down here.
Yeah.
Needed stitching, so I went out, and then my next fight up in Scotland, same up and up again, same cut. But best trainer I went with was Glyn Rhodes.
Yeah.
He only took a small percentage, and like one at fights, I boxed Chella Render for title.
Yeah.
And Glyn were in Las Vegas, and he couldn't make it to the fight, so he didn't charge me. He didn't take no off me.
Oh, that was nice for him, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just got my own guy to do my corner, like. But yeah, Glyn were fair, because like I walked in gym and he says, "I've got you to fight. Do you want it?" So he dialed phone number back and left it on loudspeaker, and I could hear a conversation back and forth, and I was like, "Wow, I've never known this before." I just used to walk in gym and Coldwell would say, "It's this much money, you're fighting so and so." And that was it. So, and then like this guy said, "Oh, it's this amount of money, there's travelling expenses," and I was like, "This don't sound too bad."
Yeah.
But he was fair, Glenn. He was a good bloke, and he's a good bloke outside at gym. He's been a good friend to me.
Well, there would have been all that on Coldwell fights. They would have put in you for, but he wasn't going to tell you, was he? Because that's what happens behind the scenes with some of them.
Yeah. See, when I was with Coldwell as well, I never got a ticket. I sold more tickets than Ryan Rhodes at a show at Barnsley, I think it was, or Doncaster. And Coldwell told me they had to keep me ticket money to keep me on show, or they weren't going to put me on show.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Not that old chestnut.
Yeah. And I weighed in on day at 11.6, and I boxed Rob Burton, who weighed in day before at 12.5 stone.
Yeah.
So,
would you recommend young fighters nowadays to turn professional with Dave Coldwell?
It's changed. I don't know, because I don't know what he's like now. I mean, he only seems to take on big lads now, doesn't he? What's got a profile already. He don't take no one from no up to champions. He seems to get them what's already been there, and I don't know what percentage in our takes off his fighters and that. So it's an hard one. But I mean, Dave Coldwell himself's changed a lot since I was there. In fact, he's like modelled this on Adam Booth since I was there.
Go to Adam Booth!
Yeah, he started shaving his beard like Adam Booth, and his style
You're joking,
like
mate?
Adam Booth.
Oh, hey? I've heard the one about the aftershave. I've heard the one about the aftershave where he went out and bought dupe because Adam Booth had dupe on. He went and bought some dupe.
Yeah,
I heard that one years ago.
It's like his boxing style now. He has his boxers boxing like Adam Booth's, which Adam Booth's very secretive and all that, but his fighters get found out after 6 rounds. George Groves, what's saying, Josh Kelly, what's saying over there. They're very jerky for first 6 rounds, and I think they burn too much energy, mate. And then after 6 rounds, they go flat. Instead of just being smooth, boxing smooth and keeping a nice flow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Peter Fury said this once to me. If you fight loose, you're not exerting energy, are you?
Yeah, but they're like, and they get explode just to move to the side. And George Groves, what prime example, after 6 rounds, he was always knackered, and it showed over there with Josh Kelly. He like keeps them in bubble. He don't do many interviews, and he keeps you in suspense that they're going to be this and they're not. And it was same with Jordan Gill. He got found out. They say we're poorly, like, but I don't see Jordan Gill going far either, as well as Kelly.
Jordan Gill signed a form before the fight that he lost to say, I'm fit to fight, in medical form before he got in ring. So there were nothing mentioned about having a dodgy curry night before or what food poisoning, whatever. When he signed that form, so why did he sign the form if he were badly?
It's right, and they're always good going into a fight. When they lose, there's always an excuse. Sometimes it's better just to get in and say, "I got beat." I mean, kid hit me in face more times than I hit him.
Who did you fight? Some fighters that you fought, Rollo?
I boxed Kenny Hope at Millennium Stadium.
Oof. Well, that went hard.
That's 4-3s. I thought I deserved a draw. I might have nicked it, but they gave it to him. I went up to Joe Kawasaki's father. I says, "Oh, you bent legs. I want a rematch." He just looked at me and went, "No." He just point blank said no to me. I boxed Conception. Boxed Chella Render.
Martin Conception, yeah.
I think it was Martin, yeah. Put me down 3 times with smacks in bollocks. Kept hitting me low.
Yeah.
Who else did I box? Rob Burton from Barnsley. Craig Bunn from Manchester. He was good, Craig Bunn.
Who training him?
He turned pro with Frank Warren. He'd had something like 101 amateurs and only lost about 6. Yeah. He was shit hot. And I boxed him. He put me down in 2nd round with a shot I was hitting him with. And when I looked up, I was in round 5. I thought, what's happened here? Same again, though. I thought I deserved a draw in that. And then he went about 6-8 unbeaten. And he went and did an armed robbery, the pillock.
Yeah.
Got to send a load of bird, but he could have gone on to do big things then.
Yeah.
Then I boxed on undercard Ricky Burns, Alex Arthur. All that.
Alex Arthur won that night, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, it was mad because I was floater, so I went on like just before main bout. So you had Glasgow against Edinburgh. They hated them, and they all hated fucking Englishmen and all. So it was a great atmosphere to walk out to. Yeah. And I got a draw up there. And when I got out at ring, Dominic Ingle says, "That won that easy." He says, "A draw in Scotland's a win, like." So because I boxed on road a lot, I got ripped off a lot with my decisions.
How can I explain? What best kid you ever got in the ring with, sparring or fighting?
I boxed, I sparred Ryan Rhodes, Kel Brook, Craig Watson, European champion. He come down to do some sparring with me and Jason Rush, and I bashed him all off. I'd say probably Kel Brook for how precise he hits and his timing. Ryan Rhodes Ryan didn't. It was weird with Ryan because when you sparred him, he used to forget to punch. He used to try and mess about and fiddle about a lot. When you got him with Kel, he just used to try taking your head off. You'd be sat outside the ring wrapping up. He'd be, all right, baby. Talking nice as pie. You get in ring and he'd try fucking chinning you. Then you get out.
That's to soften,
nice as pie again.
That's to soften you up, innit, before sparring.
Yeah. But I'd say probably Kel Brook. Definitely one of the hardest hitters for weight as well. But what you're doing, what Kel Brook used to do, if you're sparring him and you're only body sparring, you started to handle him a bit, he'd punch you in the throat.
Would he?
Oh, I would. He would do. He didn't like losing or coming second best though. So after a time when I could start handling him a little bit, inspiring him, like he'd start punching you in the fucking throat.
Yeah. Oh, it's who's best person that you've met in boxing, or you thought, you know what, he's a right nice fella then?
I've met a few. I've met quite a few good friends through boxing. Latif from Doncaster, he's a lovely bloke. Glyn Rhodes, I can't speak highly enough about Glyn Rhodes. He's always on phone, giving me advice and stuff. Dennis Hobson, he's a cracking bloke. I boxed on a couple of Dennis shows. Yeah, and then I've met a few through unlicensed boxing as well.
You're putting shows on yourself now, unlicensed shows, aren't you, Rollo?
Yeah, well, I've been doing them since I lost me. What it was, when I was boxing pro, we were doing my friend were doing a charity show, and it was for epilepsy. And this young lad who was training at my gym says, "Will you do my corner?" Yeah. So I said, "Yeah." So all I did was give him a drink. When he come back to the corner, other guy were getting him for Vaseline and that on him, and it was to raise money for epilepsy. And Border Control took my license off me for it.
Yeah.
So they says, "Oh, you can appeal against it, £1,500." But there's no point in appealing against it because it went in front of the same guys. Now there were 13 of them on board. Glyn Rhodes says, "I'm not getting involved with it." So did a load of others. The only people who went against me were Howard Foster, Brendan Ingle, Dominic Ingle, and Brendan Ingle's wife.
Alma.
Yeah, and all them went against me. Best thing about it, Dominic Ingle knew that two of his boxers were fighting on my unlicensed shows. And he used to say to them, be careful, don't get caught. Yeah, I do corner for the charity bout, and he revoked my license. Well, he weren't making money off me like he was then.
See, what I can't understand about this is, right, you've got in Brendan, what wasn't Brendan Ingle on area council for something like that? Or is it Alma? Alma's on council, isn't she?
Yeah.
Well, if their son, who's a trainer, is doing that, he's not going to get pulled, is he? He's not going to lose his license, is he?
No, they are. I was talking to a couple of their boxers, and Ingles were charging them to wrap their hands up. They were charging them to take them to fights. They were charging them the trainers and managers' fees and what. They were ripping their fighters off. There's no wonder they've got money like they have.
And that's unlicensed shows, and these are licensed holders, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I know people, I think one of my pals, a couple of my pals have been in trouble with board for doing stuff around unlicensed stuff, because there's that stigma that if board find out, you'll get reported. And what really cheeses me off, right, is that certain license holders pick up the phone and tell tales about license holders that are kind of connected to unlicensed. And I have a problem with that because, in my opinion, that's grassing.
Yeah, of course it is.
Been going on.
I'll tell you who's one at worst for it is Steve Ray. You know, who stands in corner on fights. He was texting me, "Oh, I've heard you in front of board when you go say this, say that."
Steve Rafe or Ray?
Is it Steve Ray from Doncaster? Old guy, what stands in corner, does all check weights and that.
Because there's a Steve. Let's not get him mixed up with Steve Ray from Newcastle, because he's my pal.
No.
Oh, Steve Ray. Oh yeah, I think it's Steve Ray on about
So he was telling, "Oh, when you're good at board, say this, say that." It was in the cheeky bastard. What come to my show with this thingy, with this charity, and got all evidence against me for Buward. And then he's weighing John Rushton's fighters in when they're not making weight, writing wrong weights down. I mean, when I boxed Nicholson weighed in on day at 12.5 stone. He put him down at 11.5. So I got mates with Nicholson after, and he says you don't know 12.5 stone in that fight, don't you? I was 11 stone 6.
Yeah.
So he's all right, dressing people up and all that when he's as bent as a banana, his son.
Bent as a banana. Ha! You're supposed to say 9 bob note if you're from South Yorkshire, Rollo.
I
don't know. What do you think about this at the moment with Tyson Fury and Joshua? Is it happening, Rollo? What do you think?
I think it will. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but I think it's going to end up where they both have a fight each, and they get it on next year because they're going to want massive crowds out there. They're going to it's going to be that much money involved. They're going to want big crowds. So I think there's more chance of John Fury fighting your mate from down Essex than there is them two getting it on this year.
Well, that might happen, that fight. Yeah, I'm hearing all sorts today, so I'll keep you all posted. But it could be a twist in the plot.
Yeah. Hey, you don't like his T-shirt John Fury had on over there?
Yeah, it's in case he forgets what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that T-shirt didn't say Tommy Fury on it because it's first time I've seen is he a trainer or is he a cornerman? I don't know. There's a bit of mystery to it, whether he's got a license, but it's the first time I've seen a trainer with a T-shirt on that says his name on. I mean, I hadn't seen a T-shirt that says Mick Whale on. I've not seen a T-shirt that says Glyn Rhodes on.
Yeah.
So I have seen one with Dave Coldwell wears one that says Coldwell on, doesn't he? So I suppose he's probably copying him, isn't he?
I think what it is with John is he's all mouth with John, and he's living off fame a bit of his sons, isn't he?
Well, they're playing media game, aren't they? Let me just tell you a couple of little things. Tommy Fury didn't do 1.9 million views on BT Sport the other night.
No way.
All of a sudden, it went from 58,000 to 1.9 million, and then out of that 1.9 million, it went back to 58,000. So nobody watched the main event because Tommy was chief support against a 0-9 kid. They're trying to get him fights so he looks like he's got a decent-ish record. He might go 6, 7, 8-0. And they're trying to get the Jake Paul fight to get millions. They're not trying to get him into a position where he goes a British title and wins belts. They might say that, but you've just seen that out today, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, end of the day, what is Tommy Fury? Is he a boxer? Is he a reality star? Or is he a model?
I don't think he knows what. He's whatever his dad tells him to be, isn't he? If his dad says you're this, you're that. He's a nodding dog for his dad.
I'll tell you something, if I look at pictures when he's interviewing with his dad after fight, and I looks at his pecs, he's definitely been on gear because he's got bitch tit coming. They're the weirdest looking chest muscles I've ever seen.
Well, that's your opinion. Well, you should know you're a boxer, ex-boxer, aren't you? You know about all that kind of thing, don't you, Rollo? They
just didn't look. Either that or he's had implants in them because they didn't look natural to me.
Yeah. It's exciting times ahead. This is why we love the sport so much, Rollo.
Of course it is. So we can sit and slag people off and have his opinion.
We're from Rotherham, aren't we? Around here, South Yorkshire. We just tell it straight, don't we?
Well, you've got to do, haven't you? It's. I mean, you've got Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren talking enough bollocks. Somebody's got to keep it real.
I know, mate. What are your plans for the future now, then, Rollo? What are you doing with yourself? How old are you?
I'm 41 now, going on 42 soon. I'm just waiting for lockdown to come off so I can get back in gym and get my gym up and again.
Yeah.
I was gonna, because I do a lot of refereeing as well. I'm known all our country as being a good ref on licensed and white collar scene. So I was gonna send off on my pro thing to be a referee, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to get involved with pros. There's too much tickle tackling, and it depends on what arse you lick to get where you want to get. And I don't know if I can be doing with all that kind of stuff.
We know we're unlicensed, Rollo. You can be your own man, can't you?
Well, that's it. I mean, I run my own gym. I deal with 20 people all over Britain. And I phone them up and I'll say, listen, I've got a kid here. He's not best in the world. He's had 6. He's won, and they get matched fairly. Do you know what I mean? It's not. Yeah. I set them off with journeymen for first 3 or 4 fights, but then start stepping them up. So when they're on like 8 fights, they're fighting the same caliber as themselves. Not like Tommy Fury, what's knocking 9 bums over. Do you know what I mean? You've got to step them up at some point.
Yeah. All right then. Well, listen, Rollo, I'll let you get back to Graf. What are you doing today?
Just building a wall.
Yeah.
I'm sat in here talking to you, watching my father do it.
Ah. All right then. Well, listen, if you see Rusky, my best, tell him he's supposed to come and see me.
He's. We had some bad news yesterday, so he's probably.
All right.
Probably down today, but lost a family member yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate.
Yeah, one of them things, pal. Life goes on.
All right then, mate. Well, listen, you take care and keep in touch. You've got my number. All right, pal.
Yeah, same to you, Porky.
See you, Rollo. Take care.
See you later, buddy. Take care.